Welcome back to World Beater Wrestling. Today we're going through a sunset flip pin with an alternate way to pin them at the very end of the combo. So with a sunset flip, this can be used any time that they are perhaps going for a back body drop. So if they're in this hunched position with their body crumbled over, we are flipping over the top, grabbing their hips and rolling them to their back. So typically you'll see it running off the ropes. Your opponent will go down for a back, like a back body drop. As you're coming off, you catch them. So you jump off 2 feet. Now where this often goes wrong is people try to grab the body too early. If you grab the body too early, it's going to limit your height. We want to make this flashy, we want to make it a performance, so we want to get as much height as possible before we grab the hips. So personally, I prefer to grab the hips only once my body has almost cleared. I'll grab on the way through lightly, and then when I land on my back, this is the moment where I really start to pull them down. As I pull them down, I want to kick my legs up to the sky. What that allows is, as we come down, it allows their arms to be hooked. If you fail to lift your legs, if you keep your legs down low, as they come back, you're now going to have to adjust by scooting forward. And it just doesn't look as impressive, and it also doesn't create as tight a pinning combination. Legs up. Now, when we get to here, okay, this is a good position because their hips are off the ground. So my hips are stopping their hips from coming down. They're pinned up high on the shoulders. I can just lock my hands in an S grip, and this is the pin here. But if I want to make it look bigger, particularly if it's a near fall towards the end of a match, I can actually release one hand, reach it through the middle, and grab my own quad. So I'm going to reach it through, grab my quad, and I'm going to lift my hips up to the sky. The difference between that is, this is your regular sunset flip. If I reach through, grab my quad, hips up to the sky, it creates a tighter looking pinning combo. And when they kick out, it means that you can also explode backwards with a little bit more ferocity. So if we're thinking of a near fall, a false finish towards the end of the match, we want to make it explosive, we want to make it big. So rather than just going regular sunset flip, having them kick out and break away, you can really both work together, explode out of the hold, and it just looks like a bigger performance. Now with the regular sunset flip, if we come back down, if we're looking at counters out of it, normally the person taking it will have their hands on the sole of your foot, which is a really good technique, because what that allows my opponent to do is, when they kick out, they can push off the soles of my foot, and they can use that to drive their momentum backwards. We try not to go perfectly backwards, we try to go over one shoulder. It's just a much easier way to get up, and it also means the ropes won't be in the way. The second way that you can get out, if you go to your back, and this kind of depends on where your foot position is. If they've got you way too high up, you're not going to be able to do it. But if your hips are down a little bit lower, you can clip your feet behind the back of their head, and if you clip them together, you can use that to create that slight bit of damage to break out of the pin. Now when you're taking the sunset flip, just make sure that your ring positioning is spot on. As I go down for that back body drop, I'm going to make sure I'm pretty much halfway between the ropes and the middle of the ring, depending on the size of the ring you're working with, but this is an 18-foot ring, which is very common. I'm making sure I'm here so that when we go backwards, I'm going to land perfectly dead center in the ring. And one last tip, when you are giving that back body drop attempt, make sure that you post with your forearms on your quads. If your hands are free, now you're relying purely on lower back, and if they're getting a little bit heavy on the sunset attempt, it's going to throw you off. You'll probably end up landing on their face. But if you can put your forearm on your quads, even if they do go heavy on you, you're going to have enough stability to maintain your posture and only go backwards when you're ready for it.